Welcome to my review of Shelby Oaks. This movie's directed by a guy who makes reviews on YouTube. No, not me. It's this guy, Chris Stuckman, who was on my podcast once. Where do you start with this movie, right? There's like so much you could say about it, I guess. But let me just start with, I didn't expect it to be as popular as it was. Sometimes random people I talk to on the street, I mention that I do reviews on YouTube, and people say like, "Oh, have you seen that Shelby Oaks movie by Chris Stuckman?" Like, people actually said that to me, and I'm like, "Oh, it's that popular." And I looked on my Regal app, and I looked at all the movies that are showing on my app, and Shelby Oaks is showing in multiple theaters all over, and it's crazy. Like, I didn't expect it to get like a theatrical release like that, and I watched it on VOD, but still, it's for a YouTube filmmaker. I think this is a big accomplishment. I wonder how much it made. I should look that up. This is from Box Office Mojo. It made about $5 million worldwide, which that's pretty good. I mean, that's awesome. He was on my podcast many years ago, and he seems like a very genuine guy who's passionate about film. You can tell he worked incredibly hard on this movie. I mean, it doesn't feel like a movie that was lazy or slapped together. It just, I have problems with it, but you could tell he was really trying to make something scary. The studio, Neon, gave him resources that he needed to make the film, and they even gave him, he needed to reshoot some things and add extra scenes, and they gave him the money to do that. People might compare it to my movies. The budget on this movie is 100 times any movie I've made, So, if a studio gave me $1 million, then I might have, films like Lover might have helped inspire him to make, this movie, which is great. That's like why I made Lover, and that's why I make my films, to inspire people to make movies. So he gave Lover a nice review many years ago when it came out. I remember. Still, he gave it a nice review. He said he liked the ending, the last 20 minutes, how it was very quiet, not a lot of dialogue. It was atmospheric. I remember he wrote that. It was very nice of him to write that stuff, and that meant a lot to me. It meant a lot to read nice things about my movie when other people were shitting on it and being really mean. People now say, "Lover, oh, that was great. I really enjoyed it." And it was like, "Oh, great. Thanks. You say that now. Great hindsight you got, you motherfucker." So, horror as a genre is incredibly subjective. What one person finds scary isn't necessarily what another person finds scary. Horror is really just like comedy. It's one of those genres that is very subjective. Did I find this film very scary? Not particularly, except for the first 20 minutes or so, the opening, which that's my favorite part of the movie. While I was watching it, I noticed it was very similar to the film Sinister. Before I saw the movie, I didn't know what it was going to be, and it's called Shelby Oaks. Okay, what does that mean? Is that a person? It's a place in the movie. Okay, it's an amusement park. It's an abandoned amusement park. Okay, but I'm like, what's this movie going to be? It's starting with this documentary. It's a bit very mysterious, and then at some point I realized, oh, this is Sinister. It's like the same sort of concept. It has these found footage segments, but it's mostly a straightforward narrative film, and it's very conventional. It's basically trying to be sinister. It's like this ghost or whatever that is in the background and creeps you out, jump scares, and then there's these found footage segments where she's watching and people get killed. One thing I always look for personally when I'm critiquing a film is originality. How original is a film? Is it showing me something I haven't seen before? It's definitely competent and well made and well lit, but it's kind of just like a generic story. Found footage is a subgenre that's generally overdone, and I rewatched the VHS movies recently. I watched a lot of the new ones as well, so I feel like I'm pretty well versed in found footage stuff, in terms of the modern film goer. I rewatched Rec 1 and 2 recently as well, which those are just the best found footage movies. I do think found footage does a lot of heavy lifting in terms of making something scary in a horror film. Just to prove my point, I'll show you a video I took of me walking in the middle of the night. See, it's pretty creepy. So what does this film do well? It does things well. Basically, the first 15 minutes of the movie, I enjoyed. Genuinely strong start to the movie. It was creepy. It did a good job of like that documentary style and establishing the story. There were moments in it where I had chills. I was like, oh man, what's at the window? So it's cool it got those emotions out of me, you know, and that's because he was really trying. Like, that's cool. Keith David was great. He's always a highlight of every movie he's in. I rewatched The Thing recently, as I do annually, because it's one of the greatest movies ever. It's fucking awesome. So where does this film go wrong? It is kind of, you know, stuck between being a found footage movie and being a conventional horror movie. And I did mention Sinister, and Sinister starts with the found footage stuff, but that's a short scene, and then it goes right into Ethan Hawke and all that. You know, I don't remember it being a significant part of the movie. Like, the first 15 minutes of this movie is like a documentary, and then it becomes something else entirely. It's like they wanted to make a found footage movie, but they knew people didn't like found footage, so they're like, okay, well, it's half a found footage movie, but then it becomes a normal movie, and then it goes back and forth, and I don't know. The sound design, I think, was overdone. Too many stinger horror movie stock sounds that you hear. The characters are underdeveloped. There's this, you know, the couple in the film, they're supposed to have this estranged marriage, but it doesn't really feel developed well enough. It's kind of underbaked. I wasn't particularly a fan of the ending either. I thought the ending was pretty weak, and that was just another part that reminded me of Sinister. It felt like Sinister, because that kind of fake out that Sinister does at the end. It's the same sort of thing. So my final verdict, I really admire Chris's passion. He worked hard on this film. The scale of it is awesome and commendable. What was that? I didn't record that. Is that my place? Is that a camera? Ugh, oh, ow, ugh, stop. Ow, ow, ugh. God, ow, ow. What do you think of that, huh?